Hi everyone, it's Becky here. So today in this video, I will show you how I finished sketching in one day on one single page on the right hand side. So today I decided to just finish this page over here on a single day. As you can see, I already drew some shapes of frames that I will fit the landscapes outside my window inside. So I'm starting to fill the tall frame on the bottom left corner first of the view outside the west window. So I'm leaving a lot of space for the sky area by drawing the trees around the middle part and then the rooftops, the house structure and more trees below on the lower part, leaving a lot of space in the upper part to paint the clouds. Because I've been sketching this view so many times over the years, I'm really familiar with the structures of the houses and the layers of trees and bushes. So I'm just drawing really fast. And I think I'm giving this view a new life by framing it in a tall frame like this. So one of the reasons that I never get tired of sketching the same things is because every time I give them a new kind of frame or being part of a different composition. Now I'm ready to paint, starting with the sky area first because it's changing so fast. Just wetting the sky area with clear water first and loosely blending on cerulean blue. So sometimes I like to squeeze my water brush so there's more water coming down to further dilute the paint on paper. So there's more interest for the area that I paint, especially for sky and water. You need the looseness. So I really like to illustrate the movement of the air in the sky by painting this way. And now I'm just adding a dark ultramarine blue mixed with purple for the shade inside the clouds. Just using simple brushstrokes and not overpainting. Now I'm painting the trees in the distance. First layer is light green. And then wet on wet, a darker shade of green. So there's a nice transition of colors, giving more interest. Painting two or more layers just make your watercolor painting so much more interesting than a single solid layer only. Just quickly painting the houses, just leftover colors, and the brown for the roofs. And that's it. It took me about 12 minutes to finish. And now it's afternoon time. I'm having a cup of coffee. Before I go practice piano, I'm gonna sketch my cup of coffee here. Starting with the ellipse shape first on the top, and then the body, including the handle, the rim of the handle, add a bit of hatching to suggest shade, and the rim of the opening, the inside liquid line, add some simple vertical hatching to suggest the shade on the surface of the cup and the inside too. Okay, so now I'm ready to paint again, wetting the area first, little area there with water, and then blend on light brown and then quickly blending on a darker layer of brown, just so there's a nice transition for the coffee color. Then paint the body of the cup using leftover gray that I mix, using ultramarine blue, purple, and a little bit green. Another layer by mixing in less water, using more of the paint. so there's more contrast. And also giving the cup a more three-dimensional feel this way. Okay, and I'm just adding a little purplish platform for the cup. And a quick shadow by mixing ultramarine blue and purple. Final touches, add a little bit more contrast. And that's it. It took me about 7 minutes to sketch. Okay, so it's been cloudy and rainy for a few days now. I'm getting a bit tired of the weather, but I'm still gonna record it anyway in my art journal. We don't have to always record beautiful, perfect weathers, perfect landscapes in our art journal. We can always record the most ordinary moment in our life. Just what we see right now at this moment. It doesn't have to be perfect. So again, for this view, I've been sketching this view for numerous times over the years. So starting with this house over here and doing that really fast because I know it so well. And then the other house on the right hand side, right beside it, a little bit covered. So I'm just like simply seeing all of the shapes of the roofs, like triangles and those windows as simple shapes, same as the forest in the distance. Just focus on the contours and then the negative spaces between the leaves. Okay, now I'm ready to paint. I always paint the sky area first because it's changing too fast. Wet it with water, and then wet on wet, some ultramarine blue. Sky is just overcast with gray clouds. A little tiny bit of sunshine in between those dark clouds. And then the green, I think the greens are giving more life to this view. Another layer of green, so it's more contrast. Even darker shade of green there in the distance. Paint the windows with a dark shade too. Just make the rooftops even darker. Another layer for the leaves.
Okay,
And that's it. I'm not gonna overwork. And I'll just move on to this last square here before I start making dinner. Again, this ordinary view outside my kitchen window. Starting with the rooftop on the opposite side of the street and then connecting the cherry leaves and the little twigs in front of the house, right outside my balcony. There's a nice contrast here. These leaves are so big compared to the house on the opposite side. There's kind of depths of distance here. It's drawing very loosely. Again, I'm not really copying what's there. It's just kind of drawing my impression of the leaves instead of copying, because that's gonna take forever. But no one is gonna check whether or not I place the leaves right. Just finish the house structure there. Drawing the windows and do a solid black, giving it more contrast. Solid black for the windows. And that's it for the drawing part. Getting ready to paint again. So as always, I paint the sky first. because it's on the very back, being covered by everything else. So when painting, it's a good idea to think about what to paint first. It's a good idea to paint the area that's on the very back first. In most landscape cases, the sky. And then just painting the next layer, the house. And then the next layer, the green leaves. Starting out with a light green so I can get more contrast in the next layer by adding a darker shade of green. Here's the darker shade of green, nice and loose. Because this is a very quick sketch, I'm only looking for my impressions, not accuracies. And here is my finished art journal page and the whole spread. I'm so happy that I was able to finish one page in a day. My life is so busy these days, working on my thesis, practicing piano. So I had to find a way to sketch more often in a day instead of just like spending 20 minutes at one time, at one point in a day. I love the way that I'm able to sketch during different times in a day. So there's more life moments recorded, much more meaningful. And I think my approach was really successful, as yesterday I finished a whole page again. And today, this morning, I just had breakfast, and before I ate, I sketched my bagel and cup of tea. So it's moving along really well using this kind of technique in art journaling. Okay, so while waiting for my lunch to warm up, I did another quick 7-minute sketch here in the square of the kiwi I'm about to eat. So instead of scrolling on my phone for 7 minutes, I sketched instead. And finally, here's my finished spread. So I painted the night view outside one of my windows. There was a crescent moon there sinking down into the horizon. And I also sketched my guppies in a home aquarium. I know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 spaces to fill in a day beforehand. So I feel much better than looking at a blank space, not knowing how many sketches I might do in a day. So it's really helpful to predetermine the squares of spaces before I start sketching my day. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please click like and leave me a comment below. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel for weekly updates. And I will see you next time.